Hello, good morning, welcome in everybody. It is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights, and we are going to talk about the astrology forecast for the Twin Flame Collective for the week ahead, and then we are going to dig deeper in with the cards. So please feel free to subscribe. If you're new here, welcome back to all of my faithful subscribers. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're resonating with the messages. It just kind of encourages me to keep on putting these messages out there. But let's talk about these big energies coming in for the week ahead. We start off the week with Mercury entering into the sign of Aquarius. We are going to have middle of the week on Wednesday on the 29th, the Aquarius new moon. We're going to have Mercury forming a conjunction to Pluto, and we're going to finally have the means north node entering into Pisces. And then on top of that, the icing on the cake is we are entering the year of the snake, connected to the Chinese zodiac. And so that's some big energies playing out. On Thursday, we're finally going to have Uranus stationing direct after months being in retrograde motion. And we are going to have the sun forming a trine to Jupiter the same day. And on Saturday, we end off the week with Venus in a conjunction to Neptune. And so with Mercury making its way into Aquarius, we are going to have this gust of fresh air sweeping through our minds and our thought process. And so Mercury is the planet of communication. And with it being in the sign of Aquarius, this is bringing forward all kinds of forward thinking. And so I do feel as Mercury transits through Aquarius, we are all kind of encouraged to think outside of the box. That is the energy of Aquarius. It is a fixed sign, but we are all encouraged to embrace fresh, new, unique perspectives. And so with Mercury in this air sign, we're going to be feeling like we're flowing more freely with our ideas, especially if they are unconventional. We might come into newfound solutions to any problems that we've been dealing with. And with Aquarius naturally ruled by Uranus, there's going to be sudden, unexpected changes. I do feel the influence of Aquarius is going to make communication very electrifying. There's going to be a lot of unpredictability, to say the least, through this transit. And there is going to be a lot of enlightening insights being downloaded, along with massive, surprising revelations. And so this really is going to be a quick transit. It's going to be a period where we can maybe chuck our traditional ways of thinking, and you might find your beliefs being challenged as Mercury transits through Aquarius. And so I think we're all being prompted to progress forward. And so I do feel this is going to be particularly powerful for those on the path who thrive on creativity and who thrive on bringing forward new, innovative ideas when it comes to manifesting new earth. And so we're all going to be given an opportunity to break free from old patterns, old beliefs, to break free from the mundane and to explore these new Aquarian intellectual territories. And so get ready. This is also going to be a really good time for collaborations for the divine feminine when it comes to brainstorming at work and engaging in some very stimulating discussions within the collective, within your soul group, within a friendship group. And so there is a deep sense of excitement for me, because this is going to be transiting through my 12th house, and I love my Aquarian 12th house. And so there's almost this excitement in the air building. I don't know if you guys can feel it. Let me know down below. But this is all about discovery is what I'm feeling. And so this really is a beautiful energy for fostering creativity, creative thinking. But there's still going to be some challenges, like always, right? And so because Aquarius is a very fixed sign, there can be stubbornness, there can be inflexibility, especially when it comes to communication and old patterns. So be aware of that. We do still have to maintain a certain level of balance when it comes to holding on to our uniqueness, our unique ideas and perspectives. And we also still have to be open and receptive to others' viewpoints, because not everybody thinks the same, right? And so if we are going to navigate this transit successfully, we do have to be open-minded. We can't be fixed and we can't be stubborn, although that might be hard if you have a lot of fixed signs in your birth chart. But I do feel with this very strong Aquarian influence, wherever this is affecting you within your own personal birth chart, this can be a very empowering couple of weeks with Aquarius in the sign of Mercury. And so I do feel this is a really good time for networking, network marketing, collaborating, especially when it comes to new projects within the collective. And maybe it's just as simple as sharing your visions with others. We're going to have it transiting through Aquarius until the end of the month. So how can you really tap into embracing your individuality throughout the next several weeks, and to really connect with like-minded individuals who really share your passion for progress and change, right? And so things are changing rapidly this year for sure. This is a really good time to hunker down when it comes to expanding your social media platforms. And so go check out my Facebook page if you have not headed over there yet, because I post content over there daily, and I do post a daily oracle message and a daily tarot message over there. But I feel this is a huge opportunity for union when it comes to people believing in shared causes and interests. And so connect with those that are deeply resonant with your path at this time. I was also shown this energy of the world with the Knight of Swords connected to Mercury entering into Aquarius, along with the Two of Wands and the Eight of Cups. And so you might find yourself at a major crossroads at the beginning of the week when it comes to leaving things or leaving something behind. The Two of Wands and the Eight of Cups is a big decision here needs to be made. When we get to the Eight of Cups, we're done sifting through illusions. We're done with the confusion. We're done with the procrastination, and we're ready to walk away. When we get to the Eight of Cups, we're in search of wish fulfillment. We're ready to walk the path. And so the world and the Knight of Swords was a huge indication of completion of a very long and daunting journey of sifting through illusions, sifting through confusion. And so we're kind of ending one lesson and going towards a new goal, but this is likely going to require a major lifestyle change, right? And so if you're on a current journey and you know it's coming to an end, know that you've achieved that goal that you set for yourself, and it's time to learn something new in these energies. It's really time to move on. It's time to use the wisdom, to use the knowledge that we've acquired to embark on a new journey, right? And so that's what the world is all about. It's about closing cycles with the past, going towards something new, and going towards maybe even just a whole new approach to your life. And so I do feel this could mean maybe you're ready to move to a new city. Maybe you're ready to finally chuck that job that isn't going anywhere and to embrace a new adventure of entrepreneurship. I know I'm really excited to expand the business. Whatever it is, it's the energy of you're ready to take on the world. And there's this new sense of optimism coming through is what I felt channeling these energies. Middle of the week, it's going to be pretty potent. We are in this major portal of renewal and transformation with the new moon, Mercury conjunct Pluto, all of the aspects playing out under the new moon. And so this is the very first new moon of 2025. So you're really going to want to set those goals, set those intentions, and really kick off the lunar new year of the snake accordingly, right? And so with the North Node also shifting into Pisces, this is huge energy. We are starting a brand new cycle. And so this new moon, I feel in particular, is significant for those born with early degree placements in the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So I am a 6th degree Scorpio sun, and this new moon is going to be almost not quite an exact square, but it's going to be in a square with my sun. And so these energies are going to definitely personally impact those with fixed placements, especially between like the 5 degree, 6 degree to 15 degree mark of those signs. And we are going to feel this transformative energy. We're going to feel it more intensely than the rest of the collective or other areas of our birth chart. And so get ready to experience very significant opportunities in order to create real change and to finally break free from any stagnation and inertia. I'm excited about this. Because of all the retrogrades, things usually slow down too. And so as we kind of close out the month of January and this month comes to an end, these energies being in the sign of the water bearer are bringing us forward a brand new lunar cycle. This is about focusing on envisioning the future that you really want. This is about breaking free from old patterns where you've been stuck into that programmed box of what people expect of you. And this really is about releasing that last little sludge of attachment to the past, right? We can't hold on to the past. We can't hold on to attachments. And so this new moon, I feel, is encouraging us all to welcome the new possibilities, to move towards the unknown, whatever that might be for you, to embrace the unfamiliar, and to create a reality that is going to be aligned with your truth, right? Because we all have our own personal, individual truth. And so when we think of the sign of Aquarius, I think of innovation. I think of we're progressing collectively towards humanitarian efforts. And so we are going to be challenged with the status quo and modern conventions coming up here. We are all being asked to bring our unique out of the box ideas forward because we all have something to share with the collective. And so how can you approach any changes with a very open mind this week? Because this new moon is going to bring forward a new sense of motivation. It's going to bring us on to maybe a new unconventional path. And it will always, usually bring us closer to the truth, right? Aquarian is the energy of truth. It is an air sign. And so Aquarian energy is asking us to be unique. It's asking us to be authentic. And so how can you embrace this renewal and this transformation? Because the sun and the moon in Aquarius are both going to be conjunct Pluto and Mercury. And so this is really going to highlight and emphasize these themes of transformation. I'm going to have a whack load of Aquarian energy in that 12th house, which is the house for me of spirituality, of karma, where we bury the past, the house where we know no bounds. And I also have my South Node in Aquarius sitting in that 12th house. So I'm very excited about this upcoming lunar cycle. I'm very excited about this upcoming year ahead. I'm so excited. I love transformation, right? And especially when it comes to the year of the snake, it is deeply connected to Pluto because the snake symbolizes Scorpio energy as well, both connected to Pluto. And Scorpio, we know Scorpio is known for transformational processes, right? If you don't know a Scorpio, then I'm going to let you know that Scorpio is all about death and transformation and shedding that old skin and going through processes of death and rebirth and transformation. And so we are at a very prominent evolutionary stage and we have to proceed, right? After Scorpio, we proceed to the eagle and then the phoenix. And so we are on an evolutionary trajectory, I feel. And the symbolism connected to this new moon is just all about shedding our old skin, releasing what is no longer serving us in order for us to really remove all of the masks so we can be our most authentic version of ourselves, so we can transform our lives from the inside out, right? And so we all have to do our part. And so we're going through this Plutonian activation under the new moon in Aquarius, and we are finally going to have that spotlight shining down on what it is that has been holding us back on our personal evolution. And so this new moon conjunct Pluto is really going to highlight what areas of our life that need to be radically transformed, right? We have to radically transform, and these energies are going to show us what we need to do. And it's not going to be easy because we are being asked to evolve and to grow, and it can be very discomforting and very much uncomfortable to go through this transformation process, right? So the days leading up to the new moon, there's going to be this emergence of some newfound conscious awareness is what I'm feeling. And we're going to be shown glimpses of deep hidden truths buried within us that we've not wanted to look at for quite some time, wherever this is transiting through your own birth chart. So pay attention to which house all of this Aquarian energy is going to be sitting at, because that is likely where this transformation is going to be taking place, okay? And so this transformation energy is going to shine a light on all of our shadows that we don't want to look at, right? Who likes to do shadow work? Nobody wants to do that shadow work, but we've got to do the shadow work to step back into the light. And so get ready to confront Whatever it is that you've avoided up until now, whatever it is that you have repressed, the truth is going to be coming to light. And with Uranus going direct, it's really pushing that truth to light for sure. And so we have to bear witness. We have to bear witness to whatever comes up in this shadow work. And we have to have a neutral energy connected to this observation of this new awareness coming to light. And so at this time, there's going to be all kinds of emotions being brought to light. There's going to be new thoughts, new desires. There's going to be new needs that we're going to have to meet. And we're going to have to address the old patterns in order to rewrite the new patterns that we're being asked to rewrite. And so how can you let go of your attachment to the past, your attachment to the familiar, and really bring this new gained awareness to the forefront of what truly needs to be transformed? I was shown the Hermit with the 10 of Cups. Think of the Hermit card. This is a huge reminder to embrace this deep inner world of spiritual truths coming to light, right? And we got to go through this personal exploration that is the key to building ultimate fulfillment, right? And we can't have harmonious relationships with our family or our loved ones or in any type of romantic situation until we've gone through this deep inner awareness of our spiritual truths. We all have to get to a point on our life's journey where we go through these personal states of exploration. The Hermit is a very singular energy. It is connected to Virgo, and we do have the South Node entering into Virgo, which is the energy of the dragon's tail, which I've talked about before. It's the sweeping away of the karmic debris. Okay, the dragon's head is Pisces, North Node. And so only by going within do we truly get to know and understand ourselves better. We can't gain clarity about our beliefs, about our values, until we spend that time in solitude and shine that light on all of our inner shadows, right? And so the inner light that we hold will guide us on our path. And on the other side of the shadow work, we can fully ground in those states of inner peace. And then we can build ultimate contentment. And so how can you work on cultivating positive, loving connections? Ask yourself that. Because we are here to heal our family connections with our family members. And we are here to build stronger foundations that are built on understanding, respect, and unconditional love, right? And so the 10 of Cups, I feel, is a huge reminder that we all have what it takes to attain a deep sense of unity. But we have to build that from the inside out. And we are here to create unity within our family. We are here to create that foundation where we feel safe and secure, knowing that we have the support of those closest to us as well. So with Mercury in a conjunction to Pluto during this transit, it can really bring about a lot of powerful effects. We're going to have stronger willpower to speak our truth, right? We're going to have this new sense, this new ability to change things. We don't have to convince others of our knowledge, though. This is a personal journey. We need to remember that. We will have this new clear perception, is what I feel, coming forward, that will allow us to maybe have an easier sense of communication with the people around us. And we're going to have this depth and intensity to our thinking. So this really is all about uncovering secrets. Maybe it's time to study and research something connected to your own personal journey, but it's a probing and a questioning type of energy. Pluto is all about unearthing the truth, right? And so there's going to be a profoundness coming forward in the way that we are thinking, in the way that we communicate, in the way that we send messages. And there's going to be massive opportunity for us to gain insight, to understand our urge for power and domination and control issues with ourselves and with those around us. I was shown the Magician and the Four of Swords. These cards together are shining a light on the focus and the need for solitude. We do need to spend time alone in order to fully understand how to create something new. And so this really is a time for turning inward, for turning our visions into reality by taking inspired action, right? The Magician is willing to shed the old to bring in the new. The Magician has all of the tools to create any type of energy. And so we're going through a renewal of our strength, a recovery of our strength and our energy by focusing on our creative power from within, because we all do have what it takes to make our dreams a reality. And then let's throw in the nodes shifting. And so for the last 18 months, the North Node has been in Aries, putting the South Node in Libra. And this was emphasizing relationships, the me versus we within relationships, and where we needed to draw lines in the sand when it comes to overcompromising, where we overcompromised to maintain harmony, just to stay connected to somebody so we didn't have to be alone. And so no more of that with the North Node shifting. And so we were in this realm of relationships for the last 18 months, and a lot of people chose to repeat the same patterns and fall back into the Libra South Node of, well, I want to create that balance. I want to just try one more time, and really not choosing self. And so there are going to be a lot of karmic soul contracts coming to an end, so we can fully ground in these sacred contracts moving forward. And so you might come on to a new spiritual teacher that is there to teach you a lesson or impart wisdom into your soul. And with the North Node shifting into Pisces, putting the South Node into Virgo, this is turning us towards service within the collective, service to one another. It is the axis of service. And so whether it's a stranger that you strike up a conversation with on the street, or you have a conversation with a close loved one, this is all about taking responsibility for each other's hearts. We've got massive opportunity for heart healing as this North Node shifts. And we got to remember the North Node is always moving in retrograde motion. And so the North Node will start at that 29th degree, which is an anaretic degree. It is endings. And so things are ending in order for us to go towards a new beginning. And so we're all done with superficial pleasantries. We're all done with superficial connections, with superficial conversations. This is all about taking responsibility, right? And so there's an alchemy going on between watery Pisces and earthly Virgo. So pay attention to the houses where you have these two energies. I'm a Pisces rising, Virgo 7th house, and I've got a Virgo stellium in my 7th house. And so for the next 18 months, for the next year and a half, we are going into one of the most profound creative periods we have seen in the collective for a very long time. And so this is where we tap into the deep subconscious connected to Pisces, and it's inviting us to channel into the collective psyche. So there's going to be a lot of awakenings. There's going to be a lot of people shifting from third dimensional reality to fourth dimensional reality. And I spoke about this before. We do not want to get stuck in the fourth dimension of conspiracy theories. We are here to rise above and get rooted into unconditional love in the fifth dimension and above. So how can you face the shadowy edges of these transits, right? Because with the shadowy side of Pisces, there is a big tendency to escape, whether it is through imagination, daydreaming, constantly questioning if you're heading in the right direction, or even escapism connected to addictions, right? And so we do have to trust our intuition to guide us, okay? And so it's really essential that we nurture our spiritual path over the next 18 months, especially as the nodes shift. We have to be more disciplined. So be disciplined this week in your meditation practices. Be disciplined on your sleep hygiene. I know I've been having a difficult time sleeping recently, but we do all have the spiritual tools that we need in order to stay disciplined through these transits. And so dream journaling. I know dreams have been very crazy, very vivid. So dream journaling. Use this energy to create art, dance, put the music on, participate in spiritual communal gatherings. Everything that I talked about can really help you stay grounded and can help you stay centered at your core as we shift these node signs and we go to that anaretic degree. And so what I wrote was, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I say that a lot in my readings. But ultimately, that teacher will always be you, right? Because everything is a reflection. Everything is a mirror. Everything is a reflection. I was shown the Magician and the Ten of Cups. So this is very focused, creative energy. The Magician turns visions into reality. And this is all about inspired action. And so we all have the ability to create family contentment through total love and support with the divine. And so these energies together, I feel, are bringing forward a very new creative, inspired energy within the collective. And we have to trust that our loved ones will be there to support us, even our crossed over loved ones and our ancestors on the other side. So if you've been working on a project that is important to you, your guides, your ancestors, they are cheering you on. Trust that you are supported on your spiritual journey. Thursday, let's talk about Thursday's energy, because we got Uranus stationing direct, and this calls for massive revolutionary change. And I kept hearing awakening. And so this might be the precipice of the great awakening taking place as Uranus stations direct. It's been retrograde for quite some time in the sign of Taurus. And we know all about Taurus. Taurus is usually the most apprehensive sign when it comes to changes, right? When it comes to changes. And so with it going direct, we're going to see some very clear manifestation of some type of change connected to wherever Uranus was retrograde in your birth chart. And so for me, it was in my 3rd house of communication, which is also connected to cousins and siblings. And so Uranus is always going to be the planet of innovation. Uranus in Taurus has challenged us all to rethink our views on money, on safety, and our material concerns, right? Knowing that we will always be supported. And so Taurus, I know Taurus very well. It is the sign of stability. Taurus is probably the most stable, reliable sign in the zodiac. It is a very fixed earthly element, right? And it is usually connected to the 2nd house of finances, controls, possessions, self-worth, self-value. And with Uranus stationing direct in Taurus, this really is a chance for us to finally be free to do what it is that we want. Maybe with our own money, maybe with our possessions. This could lead to massive windfalls or downfalls, depending on how you utilized the retrograde energies, correct? And so I do feel whatever assumptions you've had about stability might actually be out of control as Uranus stations direct. Usually the big bang happens when the planet either goes retrograde or direct. And so I think we're all largely being called upon under this transit to be challenged when it comes to our traditional beliefs surrounding money and security. And so there might be a very unsettling energy at first as we go through this revolutionary change. And so I do feel ultimately whatever happens during that transit is going to be for the betterment of our lives and the betterment of the world. And so this could be massive global shifting as well. If you've been in a relationship with someone where you felt like you couldn't truly be yourself or who you truly are, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be any type of relationship. There's going to be a breakdown for sure. If you have felt like you're unable to authentically express yourself for whatever reason in any kind of relationship, based out of fear, well, that's not going to be accepted anymore when Uranus stations direct. And so oftentimes we hide our truth and we wear masks because we're worried somebody's going to get mad at us, or so on and so on. And so this can create a lot of internal stresses. And so if you were going through that with Uranus in retrograde, all of this is saying you can't hold that back anymore. And so there's going to be like a big bang, and the universe is going to say, hey, you're going to have to let all that out. Whatever you've been repressing, it's going to come to light. And so Uranus going direct is a really good thing, even if it means a lot of tower moments, because I was shown the tower card. And so Uranus in Taurus is in the sign of the fall. And so there could be a great big fall from grace when Uranus transits direct. And so this is all about surprises, all about unpredictability, and Uranus will bring the truth to light. So if you've been living a lie, or if you've been dealing with somebody lying to you, the truth will come to light and you will gain those insights in order to go towards freedom. And this is all going to happen when it turns direct. And you're going to have to break free from anything false or anything that is lacking authenticity in these energies. And so the tower card moments are coming, guys. So hopefully you've done that work on yourself, because any plans, any relationships, any structures that have not been built on solid ground, get ready for a drastic shakeup, because anything built on falsity can no longer withstand moving into these energies. Uranus does not tolerate falsity. Uranus does not tolerate lies. I know Taurus doesn't either. And so if you've not been honest with yourself, if you've not been honest with another, Uranus is going to force this truth to light one way or another this week. And so you better tread carefully, and you better just embrace whatever comes to light, because this is for our revolution after all, right? And so no matter how shocking, how sudden these changes are, they're ultimately for the better. They're ultimately for the good when it comes to long term and the grand scheme of things, okay? Because I was shown the King of Wands and the Devil, and I do feel that is closely linked to the Divine Masculine Collective. And when I think of these two cards together, this is like the neon signs, the neon lights are warning and flashing for sure around the Divine Masculine Collective, because there's danger and unchecked ambitions about to come to light with this transit. And so the Devil is encouraging the Divine Masculine Collective to be aware of their obsessions, their greed, and their materialistic nature, because the third dimensional reality is breaking away. And the King of Wands is providing this charm and power type energy. And I feel this combination is a huge reminder for the Divine Masculine to be mindful of their increasingly materialistic nature and their materialistic motivations behind all of their actions. And so we do have to be deliberate with our awareness. We have to be deliberate with our choices. And so a lot of the Divine Masculine Collective are under the influence of lust and envy and materialism connected to that Devil card. And so if they are not using their ambition and their power for good, not only for themselves but for others, they are going to have a huge tower moment, I feel, around middle of the week. We also have the Sun trine Jupiter. This is creating an awakening when it comes to maybe a desire for growth or expansion. This is breaking down the status quo for sure. And so we are here for these spiritual pursuits. We are here for this higher education. And we are here to further broaden our horizons. We're not here to stay in a dead-end job for the rest of our lives. We are here to create a reality and to create real change from the inside out. And so what I kept hearing was that song. I don't know who sings it. Every rose has its thorn. Ain't that the truth? And I know there's a card in the Mystical Moments deck that I've got. And it shows, I think it's the Nine of Wands. I think it's the Nine of Wands with a woman covered in roses and thorns. And so a lot of us that go through heartbreak, we grow back thorns to protect ourselves, right? But I feel with every rose has its thorn energy coming through, there's a huge risk of overindulgence in that energy. And we've got to be mindful of complacency, right? Because when we become complacent, then we are kind of stuck in a lower cycle with the Devil too. And so I think we're being challenged in this energy for sure. And so we can't take our blessings for granted. We can't take what we have in our lives for granted. We really got to take a good look at what the universe is bringing forward, because this really is the energy of a golden ticket. They showed me like the golden ticket from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So interesting the way the messages have been coming through. And so we're in a time period where everything will conspire in our favor if we are aligned in authentic truth. So this really is a good time for growth, for seizing some new opportunities, all with this increased clarity and new understanding and awareness. And so there's a lot of illumination coming forward when it comes to the spiritual path. I feel a lot of the Divine Masculines are going through an expansion of their visions, and they're going to be able to see the bigger picture once and for all this week and come to that new understanding from a place deep within their heart. And so Divine Feminine, keep going towards that joy when it comes to learning and growth and engaging in sharing your philosophies and connecting with other like-minded souls this week. I do feel, although there's huge potential for good fortune, it's very important to stay grounded, like I mentioned earlier in the reading. We've got to avoid temptation. We've got to avoid being overly confident, because that is the energy of biting off more than you can chew. And you don't want to do that in the energies this week. Use all of these energies this week to really get grounded in that solid foundation, because we've got massive potential to build amazing future endeavors. But we also need to just remember we're here to enjoy the ride. I was shown the Justice card with the moon with that transit. And so when we get this combination of energies, we will get a deeper understanding of what's really going on behind the scenes, right? What's going on below the surface, because there's always something going on behind the scenes below the surface that we can't see. And this is going to allow us to bring a deeper sense of balance and fairness into our lives. It's the energy of like being a psychic detective, right? And uncovering all of these truths. And it is the energy of, hey, making sure everyone gets what they deserve. But we got to be careful, because this also comes with a warning. We can't get too caught up in our emotions. We can't lose sight of what's fair and just. And we can't be so obsessed with finding the truth or wanting to get even with somebody that we lose sight of compassion and empathy, right? And so a lot of us go through a lot of injustices. The Divine Feminine faces a lot of injustices on her life journey, on her path. And we're not here to make sure that people pay for what they've done for us. We're here to stay balanced. We're here to stay true to our values, and we're here to trust our intuition. We do also have to have a sense of logic, right? And then Saturday, February the 1st, we have Venus conjunct Neptune. This is going to be a heightened period of sensitivity. There is going to be a deep desire for deeper emotional connections, but this is also a very strong energy of the fall. If we are too idealistic, you might fall deeply in love, and you might be ignoring the major warning signs that could lead to heartbreak. Venus conjunct Neptune. Neptune rules illusion. Venus in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces is all about illusion. And so you don't want to get so caught up in a daydream or a fantasy or an illusion and then fall victim to manipulation. And so this really is a time of awakening. I do feel we don't want to rush into things. We don't want to push things. We really want to have clearly defined boundaries in these energies. Because now is the time to go with the flow. We can't pressure people. If you're trying to pressure somebody to commit to you, walk away. You can't make somebody be with you. If they wanted to, they would, okay? But I do feel, although this is very creative, very imaginative, you don't want to get carried away by illusions, especially when it comes to relationships or finances, because Venus is connected to finances. And so I was shown the Ace of Wands and the Five of Swords. And so this combination in regards to love is a huge warning. It's a huge warning. It might feel like a renewal, but that Five of Swords is saying, something here isn't right. There's a deep sense of peril. There's a deep sense of something dark lurking in the shadows. And so I think these energies combined are bringing forward a major warning, especially if you are in a relationship and it's not been reciprocated. Take the rose-colored glasses off, okay? Take the rose-colored glasses off, because you're only fighting an uphill battle, and that's not love. That's kind of abusive, trying to get somebody to reciprocate your feelings when they don't have that to reciprocate. And so we can't force a person to love us, right? So I think a huge week of release, and that's kind of what I got. So we're going to jump further in. Oh, I'm going to grab a pen, actually, a pencil, and we're going to timestamp. And we're going to jump in with the tarot and the oracle cards. So we're going to start off by using the Star Codes Astro Oracle cards. We're going to see if there are any other astrological energies that need to come through for the week ahead. The Descendant. Get ready for a great big fall from grace is what I just heard. It's a 37 card, and it also breaks down to a 10. And so there is something very fated going on in the energies this week. And look at that bottom of the deck, Mars. We do still have Mars retrograde in Cancer. So you could be a Mars in Cancer. You don't have to be. This is affecting us all somewhere in our birth chart. But there is some truth here coming to light. And I do think it's triggering a lot of anger. There's also a new beginning here with the 22 on the card. And so I think a lot of the divine masculines are seeing red. I think they're angry. They're shocked at this truth that's coming to light. And they are in this great big energy of the fall. So let's put them back in, and let's give these cards a shuffle, and let's see what other energies need to come through for the twins this week. We're going to get a few of these. We got one out right away, and we get Capricorn. So it's a 10 card, and we just did complete Pluto's transit through Capricorn, which really was exposing a lot of abuse, a lot of power and control issues. Pluto in Capricorn, really the last 15, 16 years was a huge eye-opener when it comes to narcissism and narcissistic abuse within the collective. Mostly connected to the masculine collective. And so something there is shifting. Something there is definitely closing out. It is the energy of the goat, but let's get a few more cards out. We get the Midheaven. So you could be a 10th house Capricorn. It doesn't have to be, but this is the energy of a burden needing to be released. Whenever I see the Midheaven card, and there's two of the Midheaven cards in this deck. One of them is called the Pinnacle. I forget what the other one is called. But we all have the ability to manifest our own personal heaven on earth, and that is what we are here to do. A new heaven and a new earth is being made manifest. And so what is your vision for the future? I do feel there's something linking the base chakra all the way to the solar plexus chakra. And so if you think of the base chakra, that's the first dimension. The second dimension is the sacral. The third dimension is the solar plexus. And so most of us, before the awakening process, we live life in the lower dimensions, right? All the way up to the third dimension, which is about power and control. And so we got to release the lower frequency vibrations connected to the lower chakras in order to fully manifest that heaven on earth. And so there is a burden being released connected to the past. So take a good, long, hard look at your South Node, okay? The South Node is the past. This is the comfort zone. This is also the gifts that we bring over this lifetime that we are here to integrate by stepping into that North Node. And so I'm a South Node in Aquarius. I've got all kinds of out of the box ideas, and I'm here to bring them into that Leo North Node. So for me to be in the spotlight, it's very uncomfortable. It's taken me a lot of time to get used to that. And so this is also a master number 33. I connect that to the 7 of Wands card in the tarot, which is the energy of the teacher of the teachers. And so I do feel there's a struggle here when it comes to leaving the past behind. And there's a need to master that lesson. Yeah, so get ready to face some type of opposition. Knight of Swords is what I'm feeling. And so you might have to go head to head with somebody here connected to a past life soul contract. But you got to cut this out. We're not here to play in to opposition, right? And so there could be a major confrontation this week with the past. It could be with an actual person, or you just might need to confront the past and what is keeping you stuck from stepping onto your true karmic pathway. This could also be connected to Virgo South Node, Pisces North Node. Bottom of the deck, we get the Root card, and the Root card is all about unearthing and getting to the root cause of a negative repetitive pattern. And so there is a Queen of Cups quality coming through. So there could be an opposition with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It doesn't have to be. I feel somebody here knows that this is coming. They feel it coming. So let's read the Root card out of the book. I know I've read it before, but we're going to read it again because I feel it's a really good reminder of all of the unconscious patterns that we hold connected to the South Node. And so there is some type of unconscious pattern here with a past life soulmate here where maybe you've got a lot of personal history with, and there's a situation here that needs to be excavated, that needs to be completely uprooted. And so how can you build roots of your own? By stepping into that North Node. I think somebody here has been a little bit spineless, and you got to look at your habits, right? What makes you feel safe and secure? Because what makes you feel safe and secure is not always the safest place to be at. And so I do feel this is about creating your own path. There is somebody here that maybe is in a situation that likes to argue with people, but it's time to transform. And we can transform without confrontation, right? But there is likely going to be a confrontation here that needs to be faced because there is some type of an emotional storm that I think has really held somebody back here. I would like to read into the Capricorn card because that was the first one that came out, and then we will go further with a different deck. And so Capricorn is asking you to dive deep into the sea of the collective consciousness. It's asking you to find a worthy dream and then work on it and walk towards it. We all have challenges to face to go towards our dream. Anything worth having is never going to be easy. Let me tell you that. And so I feel there's a situation here that needs to be looked at. Is it healthy? Is there a solid foundation? Because if there's not, it's time to walk away with a sense of integrity. It's time to cultivate your gift of leadership, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign connected to leadership as well. And so there's a mountain here that needs to be climbed. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be comfortable, but you do have to leave something behind. If you have been feeling depressed, if you have been feeling flat, like there's no progress, what is holding you back? Usually we are our own biggest block on the journey. This energy is encouraging you to keep your eye on the prize. I do feel there's wisdom when it comes to a very painful past life soulmate connection. You've gone through a lot, I feel, in this connection, and it's time to mature out of this experience. So I think a major week of evolution, of growth, of expansion for the twins. Let's get a couple cards from the Senses of the Soul Oracle deck, and then we're going to jump in with some tarot messages for the week ahead. 41 on the bottom of the deck. It's the Fairy Bell card. I honor other ways of knowing beyond the intellect. So we kind of got to learn to integrate the material world along with our spiritual identity. And so there is an Ace of Cups, death energy coming through. What I feel with that, oh, look, and an 8-card strength. Plantain. You have the resilience you need to overcome these challenges. And so there is a major activation is what this is feeling like. So let's get a few of these cards out and let's see what else Spirit has to say. Okay, there we go. We got 3 out right out the gate. Ayahuasca. So I do feel there is an invitation to go deep into the dark, to shine that divine light on these shadowy elements that need to be overcome. We get a 22 card, so there's change. There's a new beginning here. You are allowed to ask for what it is that you need, and we get an 18 card kind of connected to the moon, and it's called Scotch Broom. And so you have the strength and the courage you need to go on. And so when I think of a broom, we're sweeping away the karmic debris. And so ayahuasca is a plant-based medicine that allows you to open up the pathway on the spiritual journey. It is a trip. Oh, it is a trip. I do feel there's that energy again too, from the root to the solar plexus. And so we are ascending those lower dimensional frequencies, and we are rising, because this is connected to the crown. And so it's a 54 card. So there might be a very discomforting, uncomfortable conversation coming forward this week. Pink Mandevilla. I release compulsions that keep me from my divine identity. We are going to read out of the book for the 5 card, and then we will read the 54 card. What's below that? The Muse and the Alchemist. And so I do believe that creative muse energy is alchemizing into a lot of healing, right? Because as we heal ourselves, we heal the world around us, and that is how we do our part individually. So let's read the ayahuasca card. I hope I said that right, but there's a big energy here, I think, of facing fears, of healing, and there's a lot of psychic intuitive abilities being activated in the energies this week. And so I do feel there's a lot of unconscious wounding that is going to be surfacing in the collective for healing this week. And this card is allowing you to access the unconscious and all of these other worldly realms in order to identify what really needs to be healed. And we all know how to heal it. The soul already knows the pathway to union. We just have to quiet the mind, right? We have to quiet the mind. And so this is about cultivating your telepathic, clairvoyant, and clairsentient abilities. We all have them. So pay attention. Pay really special attention to your dreams and your intuition, because there will be new sources of information being downloaded in these energies this week. And we will feel this healing on a deep cellular level. You will feel the DNA restructure into this crystallized light body energy. So let's read the 54 card. Let's read it. It is a crown chakra card. And so this is all about healing addictions. Addictions come in many forms. Food addictions. Can get addicted to TV, scrolling social media, cigarettes, vaping, alcohol, drugs. We can get addicted to other people. We can get addicted to lies. And so healing addictions and getting a newfound sense of subconscious clarity. So we kind of got to learn to balance the head and the heart, right? That is the longest journey we will ever take, is alchemizing the head and the heart this lifetime. And so I do feel there is an imbalance connecting the seventh chakra to the root, and this can manifest as all kinds of addictive, compulsive behaviors. It can lead to neurosis. It can lead to obsessions. That goes right in alignment with what I talked about, and it can certainly lead to addictions. So this card is saying it's time to look at how your compulsions distract you from hearing the voice of your heart. Pay attention. We are here to connect with our own inner divinity, and we do that through the heart. So if you have been using alcohol, technology, the internet, if you've been overeating, all of that is a mask to avoid actually stepping onto the path of divinity. There's something behind these behaviors that kind of holds you back from connecting to your authentic emotions and your true inner needs. And so this is wanting your attention. It's definitely wanting your attention. When we can honor and accept all parts of ourselves, we no longer need these compulsions and addictions to hide what's inside of us. And so there is an energetic integration going on this week, big time. So let's go a little bit further with the tarot. I was on the fence with the Mystic Monday deck and the Wildwood Tarot. Let's do the Wildwood. Let's do the Wildwood Tarot. Something about this deck calls to my soul. So let's do the Wildwood Tarot. Look at that. 7 of Vessels, Page of Arrows. Cutting through illusions is what I just heard. We get a bird. We get Spirit is bringing in some type of information, some type of truth, some type of revelation. On the 7 of Cups card, we get mourning. A lot of us will go and turn towards addictions of all kinds when we are in a state of grieving and mourning. Maybe you're mourning the death of a loved one. It doesn't have to be, but the 7 of Cups is often connected to illusions. So get ready to be disillusioned in the energies this week, guys. But let's get 9 of these cards out. And let's see what needs to come through for the twins for the week ahead. What do we got, Spirit? What do we got for the twins for the week ahead? 3 of Arrows, 6 of Stones. There could be some type of exploitation. I do feel betrayal. I do feel jealousy, betrayal here. I'm going to set those aside. Somebody here might be exploiting somebody's pain. And that's usually what happens when we are in a state of pain. Darker energies and people that are like emotional vampires will attach to us, and we are already in a state of illusion. And so people will exploit us when we are not in a healthy state. And so somebody here feels like they got stabbed in the heart and their life might have went up in flames. Could be recent, could be long past. And somebody exploited that pain out of a state of jealousy is what I'm feeling. So could be connected to divine masculine or feminine. But we're going to pull 9 cards now. And we're going to see what needs to come through. We get the Empress. Somebody here could have been jealous of a divine feminine. We get the Ace of Bows. So that's the truth. It is not the Ace of Swords, but it is the Ace of Wands. We get the Moon. So there was somebody that had hidden motivations connected to, I feel, hurting a divine feminine. What else do we get? We get the divine masculine. Yeah, somebody here was jealous of a divine counterpart situation here. And I feel either exploited the pain of the feminine, the pain of the masculine, or both. That's usually what happens, is the twins get ripped apart due to jealousy and somebody exploits one or both of the twins. The central energy is the Mirror. Very fascinating. I do feel addictions. The divine masculine is stuck in a cycle with a false counterpart where there is a mirroring going on there. And there is some form of addictions. We get the Page of Vessels, the Page of Cups, the Otter. And this is due to some inner child wounding, some inner child healing taking place. We get the 9 of Bows, which is the 9 of Wands. And so that is the wounded healer. The twins are alchemizing their wounds. I do feel there is a divine counterpart situation here where the both of you triggered each other's deepest, darkest wounds, which created a separation, some type of jealousy. And I feel there's a counterpart situation where both of you were exploited out of jealousy. We get the Five of Bows, the Five of Wands. Yeah, there was somebody here or a situation that created a struggle. And this is about taking back your power and stepping into empowerment. And the final card out is that Mourning card. I can't leave that. We get the Six of Bows. And so victory after sorrow. There is abundance here. There is victory. And bottom of the deck, the pole star or the Aquarian card of the star. And so healing. Wishes are coming true. And so I do feel the masculine is finally coming out of the forest. And I'm hearing that Taylor Swift song, Out of the Woods. Are we out of the woods? Because I remember. Okay. And then we get the Two of Bows. And so the masculine is on fire here. He's got a big decision to make this week. And I do feel it is about bringing forward a solid offer, rebirthing what was walked away from and putting in the work. And so I do feel a week of wishes being granted, a huge possibility of emotional contentment with the Nine of Cups. And I do feel these sacred counterpart unions are protected. And so we are in the rebirth stages. We are in the very beginning stages of these rebirths. And so I do feel there is an offer coming. I do feel the masculine has been working on himself behind the scenes, mastering his skills. And the mirror energy, this is happening in Pisces season. There could be a mirror activation when the North Node shifts on the 29th. But the mirror is connected to the Hanged Man. It is Pisces energy. And so as we move into Pisces season, there is going to be a shift. So let's clarify the mirror. The Lovers. Seeing clearly who the true counterpart is. I feel this is coming forward. Yeah, the Sun, illumination. So a heart chakra activation and the Wheel. So we are entering a very fated time period of divine counterpart unions for sure. And the Queen of Vessels or the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck, the Salmon. And so we can't keep forcing people to be with us, right? I do feel that's connected to the karmic energy. And so Spirit is loud on this one. There is some type of union coming together because the twins are forever connected through all space and time. They are forest lovers, and this is coming to light. This is the truth. And so I do feel things are moving forward. What does the Divine Feminine have to say? Can't believe they both come out right on top of each other. Usually the feminine goes through the process first and then the masculine when the feminine creates that balance. And so the feminine is clarified by the Three of Stones. Creativity. She is rooted firmly in her path, rooted firmly in place, and she is waiting. She's waiting for the masculine to join this creative journey. What does the Divine Masculine have to say? I'm coming in with that truth. I'm coming back to life. The Ace of Swords, the breath of life. I see clearly now. Bottom of the deck, that Page of Arrows. And so Spirit is really loud. There is some karmic judgment playing out this week. We get the Ten of Stones, connected to the home, connected to ancestry, connected to traditions in the past. And we get the Two of Cups. And so the twins are being called back to each other. There is that attraction through the heart. And so I do feel heart expansion and leadership. And so there is going to be a conversation coming with the King of Swords upright. And I do feel the masculine is coming in fully dedicated to the path. And he's got fear. He's working through fear. And then we get the Archer or the Chariot card. And so things are going to be moving forward very quickly. Get ready for healing in the energies this week, guys. Massive healing. So let's close it off. Oh, I almost got burnt by my candle. With a couple of Twin Flame Oracle cards from my handmade Twin Flame Oracle deck. What is the closing message for the twins? I just saw the Disillusionment card. But we got Pause and Past Life Karma. So it feels like we've been paused forever as we have been working through clearing all of this past life karma. And so there is still some challenges related to these old wounds from the past lives that we have shared. But I do feel this is a week of aligning to positivity. There is a lot of divine communication coming forward. So really pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities. because we are manifesting these unions and forgiveness. And I do believe it is connected to that new moon transit. And so try to see the innocence in everyone involved, because we do have the power to create all of our desires. So trust in your intuition this week, guys. And that's what I've got for the week ahead. If you would like to go further with a reading with me, check out the links below. If you would like to come on over to the other side and be a channel member, head on over there. We are going to launch the second month of the book club with the 4 Agreements book. It's going to be a book that will really help us get rooted and no longer making assumptions, and really starting to be impeccable with our word moving forward. Thank you all for being here. I hope to see you all again next week.